There you go. Welcome to Comics.
That's really nice.
I am justice. I am justice. I approve.
I gave you Batman, dude. Okay, I gave you until I
better
didn't say
have.
anything.
I
I
would've had
called
words with
Superman perpetually. I gave you Green Lantern. I gave you a cool one. So first off, that was the new CLD intro. I wanted to update that. Plus, I got a little Halo in there, so I was like, all right,
A little.
yes. So so that was my thing. That there are certain parts in the trailer where it has those characters walking out of the shadows with those words. So I was like, oh, I'm using this with our logos. So
I approve.
welcome to Comics League Dark. I am Jared. I am here with the boys. I got Taladia Plays. What's up, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I know it's a rare appearance,
Rare appearance, exactly. I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, dude?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. And I'm here with David, member of Comics League. What's up, dude?
Hey guys. Thanks
So this is also doubling as a members only stream. So that's why we're doing this at this point. So we have a packed show for all of you today. Starting off with, so what do you guys want to talk about first? Teen Titans, AI art, Gunn loving New 52, the X-Men creator, Henry Cavil as Wolverine. What?
Something positive. Something positive.
Let's start out on a good note.
Okay, you know what? How about this? Gunn showing love for the freaking New 52. Nice. You love to see it. Love to see it. I am actually going to pull. I'm going to see if I can pull up this tweet because it was one of those things. I was watching this, and it was kind of funny. I sent Britt this, and Britt, if you're in the chat, sound off. And she put up. So he highlights the New 52 and calls it the reason why he got back into comics. And then she put in all caps. Then just adapt the New 52.
Seriously.
Anyway, so here you go. Here is that. So he was asked about what were your favorite runs in the New 52? And he said, you have Batman by Scott Snyder, Action Comics by Grant Morrison, Taladia, he's one of us, Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello, which makes me think, is he going to do the Zeus origin?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Suicide Squad by Adam Glass, Animal Man, Batgirl by Gail Simone, and Red Hood and the Outlaws by Lobdell. That's a good one. Because remember, that was the run that basically undid the whole, that basically brought back his whole, you're not no Aquaman love. Well, I'm sure there's Aquaman love in there, but remember the Lobdell run is the reason why we got the not the punch back to life by Superboy Prime origin. But the reason why I wanted to show that is that it's nice to see, and yes, it was excellent, Atchison. The reason why I wanted to bring that up is because it's very refreshing to see such love for the New 52 because it gets overly bashed so much.
All the time.
To quote a UTC episode that Nick and I uploaded today, we were talking about Zack Snyder, and Nick, you said that Zack is one of the most overhated creators ever. Same with the New 52 as an initiative, even though it's so ridiculously well.
I mean, time kind of always brings things to their truest form. The prequels were overly hated, and now we've kind of come around to like them.
It's like poetry rhymes.
Pretty much. So I think we're kind of starting to reach a point where the people who we've so far removed from the New 52 that I think people have kind of come around to be like, okay, yeah, this is actually pretty good. Especially when you compare it to modern DC.
Oh yeah.
Because trust me, everyone who bashes modern DC, they would kill for anything approaching the New 52 level of quality.
Here's the thing. I always bring this up, and Britt and I always bring this up on Legacy. Superman Wonder Woman sold over 100,000 copies in its debut issue. When was the last time a Superman book, ignoring the Wonder Woman, when was the last time a Superman book sold that well?
I mean, we live in a comic scene where selling 30,000 comics is cause for celebration.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
your average Batman books maybe sells like 15K a month.
And
Spider-Man is really the only one that's doing those kind of numbers right now, and it's been years since it got there.
Yeah, and
Thank
the thing
you,
about
Ultimate
it,
Spider-Man.
Yes, well, yeah. But on that, because here's part of why the initiative was great, and Randy brings up a good point. It did save the industry, and let's be honest, most of those people that hate the New 52 are just upset they can post-crisis. There would have been less hate had they gone the Ultimate Universe route and made the New 52 an alternate reality that's running alongside, because then everyone could get what they wanted, and it wouldn't have been like, screw these people, no, screw these people.
But
go ahead, Saladia.
If James Gunn merges the New 52's universe with the Kingdom Come universe, just imagine, Jared just saying,
Superman, Wonder Woman, just saying.
Yeah,
it's actually a significant part of that book.
Yeah, just saying, Jared. New 52 it's all there. It's all on your plate, James Gunn.
Speaking of Kingdom Come, have you heard some reports that apparently Warner Brothers doesn't like the Superman S? They want to try and get it removed from the movie.
I saw that too. For the advertisements, they want to change it to the old school S.
You mean they don't like the Kingdom Come one?
Yeah, after they allowed.
Well, here's the thing, though, and Britt brought. I'm sorry, Britt brought this up when we talked about some legacy, and it's like that S is associated with, at max, 2 books: Kingdom Come and that Superman the Authority book that Grant Morrison had written. That's it. But when the mainstream comic book scene thinks of that S logo, they think of one specific storyline. Hey, what's up, Tavia? And here's the thing. Yes, it's a dope S. I love it. The problem is that's associated with an older Superman. You can't do that for a younger Superman. What were you gonna say, Nick?
Personally, I don't like the S. I don't think it works for me.
Okay, well, that's fine. But the other rumor that I have heard regarding the S is that the suit for the Superman movie. And what's up, Britt? And you know what? She's here, so I'm going to play her intro as well because she is still a co-host.
He's back.
There you go, Britt. But so what's interesting is that according to some scoopers, and Tevia, again, I say this every time you say this, just because some stuff wasn't good does not mean the entire line wasn't good. I don't know how many different times I can say that, but according to some of the leakers, it's interesting how the Superman suit for Legacy is basically the New 52 armored suit.
I think it's going to be sweet. And it even makes me wonder, like him saying that he likes all these New 52 runs makes me wonder, like, is that the Wonder Woman suit we're going to get? Like the silver and the blue?
It is great. I would love that.
Wonder Woman will probably be wearing pants this time. I'm calling it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but the question is, do you think they're going to go with the Zeus origin if he's highlighting Azzarello?
Yeah.
That was kind of a plot point in that. But Nick, I don't think I ever asked you this, but what did you think of the new 52 Superman armor?
I don't think I really have much opinion one way or the other. Pull it up for me. Let me see it. I'll give you an opinion right now.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that right now. Might as well. And new 52 Superman.
There is a concept art out there for a fan edit or whatever for the David
I'll tell you what, let me just pull this up. All right, so this is, if this isn't a good image, I can get another one, but just start with this. And in fact, here, and then I'll zoom in a little bit on here.
I feel like it looks so good.
I got no issue with it. It looks like a Superman suit. Like, it doesn't look like anything too special.
And there's no, but here's the thing. It's like, I've heard people say, well, Superman doesn't need armor. And David and I brought up, who cares? It looks awesome.
It looks cool.
Looks cool.
The anime lover in me, a lot of the New 52 stories with him, they all look very anime inspired, and that really resonated with me. And I think that
it's not like Superman hasn't worn armor before, or
exactly.
any Kryptonian hasn't worn armor. I mean, look at General Zod stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Comic City, have you seen or heard of Tony? Whatever. She's a NASCAR driver. She looks like Wonder Woman. I have not, because I don't track NASCAR, but I can check that out to see.
Wait, you live in Florida. You're in the South. You should. I mean, being Southern, you need to take your Southern card away, brother.
Do you really want to keep talking, Senor? She does look like Wonder Woman. That is true. Hang on.
Here's the thing. I'm half Southern, so like I have my Southern card built in.
Oh, hey.
I have
What kind
authority
of
to take your
criminal?
Southern card away, Jared.
No, you don't. So anyway,
My dad was born in Kentucky. Shut the F up.
yeah,
I'm more Southern than you are.
I wouldn't say he liked them
And
all.
I'm in the North.
Yeah, but Tavia, he said the point of this is that I'm saying he likes some of them, and
like
he was
a
lot. That's a
highlighting
good
the runs
amount.
that he liked. All those runs that he specifically highlighted, he liked. In fact, he
Yeah.
even referenced the New 52 as getting him back into comics. Well, but what do you think of the set photo from Superman of the Engineer? It's her in like a motion capture suit. There's not
Yeah.
that much to really
Uh,
talk about yet.
There's not much to go off on from
It
the
is cool to see
Yeah,
it
it's
being
like the
made.
same thing with like I've been kind of following the development of Tron Ares, and we're kind of starting to get some like unset filming stuff. It's like a lot of like just doing it bits. And while it's kind of a bit concerning, I'm gonna wait to see like the trailer and not before making my judgment.
Atchison says, for the love of God, of all that is good, don't put Wonder Woman in pants. That is cursed.
They
Yeah, it
can't
kind of
help
is.
They really can't help themselves. She's definitely going to be wearing pants.
I've heard Animal Man is pretty good. And then Mama says, one of the main reasons why I'm interested in James Gunn DC is because of the authority. And yes, I'm also a Wildstorm guy.
Oh, nice.
But
We need to
fair
put
enough.
Wonder
Fair
Woman
reason.
in pants so Superman can get into them.
Comments say, any opinion on Patty Jenkins returning for Rogue Squadron? That's a topic for later. Trust me, that's a topic.
Oh yeah,
for later.
yeah, she got announced.
We'll talk about that. And she also said that actually, you know what? I mean, we could just transition over to that topic because I have an interesting way to bring this in.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So we got announced of a Teen Titans movie, but not a Wonder Woman movie. And here's the thing: according to Patty, DCU has no plans for Wonder Woman. And by the way, Britt brings up a good point.
Why?
The Kingdom Comes S is not recognizable for the general audience. You need to build to it in that way. Yes, exactly.
Well,
Thank
speaking of building, just going straight to a Teen Titans movie is a very bad idea.
Yeah.
Because what you need to do is maybe have Robin introduced and Brave and the Bold. Like here's what I would do.
Mhm.
I would have it be like the Robin, the Brave and Bold be Dick Grayson, but older, like right on the cusp of leaving Batman, but just set up all that conflict. Like say, oh, he's been Robin for like 3 or 4 years, and like he's getting older, and like have that conflict, set it up right in that movie. Like set it up in that movie, perfect. And then have the other sidekicks appear in the other movies. You know, like maybe part of the plot. Like I mean, Superman Legacy is already over stuff. Why not just add a Cadmus plot and he rescues Superboy? Congrats.
But remember, Nick, this is one of the reasons why I don't like his approach of the superheroes just exist. We're starting in the middle of the story. Because here's the thing. If you try and skip the line with like Teen Titans, you have to build to that. And it just got really hot.
Well, the thing, but on the same token,
hang on, it just got really hot.
Flame on. How's everybody doing?
Hey, what's up, JJheat?
Sorry I'm late, guys. Traffic was a
okay.
nightmare.
I need to say this though. I see the thing is, say what you will about the Holland version. I think one of the most refreshing parts of his take is the fact that they skipped the origin for Spider-Man and that he's kind of just existed. You know, like Uncle Ben doesn't need to die a third time. You know, on the same token, like we don't need to see Bruce Wayne's. Like they kind of skipped the origin for Batman in the Snyderverse. Like they showed it, but it was just more glossed over. You know, we don't need to see the Waynes get shot for.
It's Master Sergeant, by the way. If you want to join us, you have the link. But anyway, but the thing on that point, Nick, is like if you're going to skip to the Teen Titans, here's the thing, and I'm going to bring up the Grace Randolph tweet. This is the one time
I have a feeling they're just going to say what I said 5 minutes ago, but yeah.
Here we go.
What she said is, "Are you ready?"
She talks about the fandom more than anything else.
She really does.
So what she
she's
said
kind of a
is,
hack, but
what's the plan here? Teen Titans has already been done in animation and live action. I'm not saying some DC fans won't be interested, but I don't think this would have broad appeal. And as usual, DC fans claim they're interested. You better show up to the theaters this time.
And hot take, the latter was ass.
Yeah. Except for
All
the
right,
animated show's
I gotta
good, but
disagree.
that's
I
it.
gotta disagree. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, JJheat.
Please debate me,
Or
please.
Nick, go
Okay,
ahead.
so I think it's safe to say I'm the resident Teen Titans fanatic here. Like,
No.
What?
and if you're talking about the Max show, the F Batman version, is it
I like
flawed? Yes.
Yes.
But I think the show gets a lot, like, basically it gets right more than it gets wrong. The problem is when it gets wrong, it gets stuff really,
It gets really wrong. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
But there's a lot, like, the costumes are amazing, like the Nightwing costume. Also, Anna Diop as Starfire, she kind of grows on you. She does get better. The first season costume is terrible.
Ugh, what costume?
Raven, I think, is done very well, and there is stuff where it keeps out. But
Donna
like, I
Troy
think
is good up until the point she's
Red
killed
Hood.
by electricity.
Fair enough. Red Hood, I think, was done pretty well. Like the stuff really, really bad. Like I think the Superboy stuff was handled pretty well, and some of the storylines are actually kind of interesting. The characters are pretty good. They interact pretty well, but it just has some very, very glaring flaws, in my opinion.
And here's my counterpoint. Season
Tevia, it's not a train. They didn't do any of these things, dude. But go ahead, JJheat.
Season 4 being a retread with Brother Blood aside, even if we factored that, they were skating around the Batman license because these are Batman, or at least Nightwing, Jason Todd, and Tim Drake are Batman adjacent characters. So they kind of wanted to maneuver around the licensing because they couldn't afford the Bat license as much as humanly possible. And the best way they could do it, at least for the final product, was basically quoting Dark Knight, was basically going the Dark Knight Returns route.
I don't think they were skirting around the Batman license because Batman does appear in the season. Like you go to the Batcave, you see Batman. Hell, Bruce Wayne is a big part of season. He appeared in season 2. Like Bruce Wayne is there. Like obviously they don't, season 3 he shows up. So like Batman is a part of the show. He's just kind of on the periphery.
Yeah, the other thing, my issue with that show is when they go, Lex Luthor is the one person Batman fears. And I'm like, no. If anything, Lex Luthor's afraid of Batman. I'm like, what? No. That is one of those occasions where when they get it wrong, they get it very wrong.
Now, let me play devil's advocate. I'm not just here to badmouth and start things with Nick. Let me clarify.
No matter what, Jared, we're cool, so don't worry.
The notorious and legendary Perez and Wolfman run shaped a generation. I will not refute that.
It certainly shaped my comic habits.
Indeed. But even if you factor that, so yes, do the Titans have
Jared only recently started reading it.
So does the Titans have soap drama or melodramatic elements? To an extent. But there's a fine line between a little bit of post-adolescent or post-adolescent edge and borderline cringe. There is a line, and you crossed it almost immediately.
Okay,
but anyway,
is Titans perfect? No, it's basically a 7.5 show. Like I view it as watchable garbage, is what I'm saying.
But anyway,
at least we agree on that.
Going back to the movie Teen Titans, this is one of those occasions where I feel like they're doing this wrong, because Titans should be a show first, because you don't know the characters enough to put them in front of a movie. What they should do, here's the way I would do this. Use like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, introduce each member of the Titans in those movies, like Nick said, and then do a Teen Titans show to build up to that.
Also, I do disagree with Randolph. Like, was Titans a failure? Yes. But to say they're a failure in animation is straight out
so
lying.
wrong.
Teen Titans 2003 and it was a phenomenon. It is still talked about this day. And Teen Titans Go is
so
still a like, you love it or hate it, its success you cannot deny. So
Zack Snyder should so it automatically is good.
Like Teen Titans 2003 is a very beloved show, extremely beloved.
Yeah, exactly, and it's actually really good. But my thing is here, and Britt brought this up in our DM chat. Okay, so you're giving Teen Titans, you're giving Swamp Thing, you're giving Lanterns a show. But Wonder Woman gets a show where she doesn't even show up in it?
To be
And here's
fair,
the
a
thing.
lot of that is due to IP damage from '84. So they're
No,
kinda
but you can
skipping-
use this to fix that
Fix
IP
it,
damage.
yeah.
Also, here's the
I don't
thing.
think 8084 like irreparably damaged it. Like it's just a misstep. Because like look at how quickly Batman and Robin is 84 levels of garbage.
Oh,
But, like,
yes.
when Batman,
Probably even
when
worse.
Batman Begins came out and almost instantly reversed tide. And basically you just need a good Wonder Woman movie and instantly everyone loved Wonder Woman again.
But
Because the thing is,
here's the
people
stupid
still
part.
love Gal Gadot as
Let him
Wonder
cook.
Woman.
Let him cook.
No, but here's the stupid thing. So I've read Paradise Lost. You can't tell that story without Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
She's kind of
right.
key to that plot line.
She does. She is.
So I'm
only
like,
way-
what do you do? And that's when people say, oh, don't worry, James Gunn respects the comics. Why is he excluding a major character from the story?
I'm probably butchering the term, but please correct me if I'm wrong. But
You
the
will.
best way to adapt Paradise Lost is to do mano res, to where it's essentially Diana recanting the story after the fact. And
But
then
they
you
won't
then
do that. That's too much of a good idea.
just saying.
Mm-hmm. But
And
my
Atchison, to add to your comment, the only reason we're getting Damian Wayne Robin in the DCAU is literally because of the controversy of having a sidekick in a live-action Batman movie.
yeah,
Damian's the safest bet because he's already indoctrinated to a degree.
and Britt
Well,
brings
the
up
thing is, we still have sidekicks. They're just called partners now.
yeah, and Britt brings up Damien will be introduced in Brave and the Bold, so most likely Teen Titans spinoff from that. We'll see.
You
But
can't
then
all
again,
over
wait,
again,
but
Brad,
wait.
I see your point.
But wait, Damien's never been like the recognize. When you think of the Teen Titans, don't you think of like Nightwing, Starfire,
Mhm.
Cyborg, Beast
fair,
Boy,
Raven.
to be fair, like Tim Drake was a Titan
or
in the
Tim Drake?
2000s,
But my point is,
and Damien was a Titan in
Briefly.
like he
No,
was
but
in the movie. So
but I'm saying for their debut movie, shouldn't you go with like the lineup that at least when people think when like the geeks think of Titans, Teen Titans, they think of that.
but there's also the other thing you gotta think of is maybe the thing about like synergy with the comics, because Damien is the current Robin, okay, and having Robin like be like, oh, I love Damian Wayne, and like because this is a problem that Marvel ran into in the 2010s.
Oh,
You know,
God,
like-
yes.
Okay, Brave and the Bold, you do the Damien, son of the demon kind of story a little bit, and like, oh, I love Damien, I want to go read his comics. Then you go to comic shop, you buy a copy of Robin, it has Damien. Damn, problem solved. Congratulations, you just made another diehard comic book fan.
By the way, here's an interesting thing. It's being written by the woman who's writing the Supergirl movie.
Wait.
Well, I don't
Wasn't
know
that a-
anything about either, so I can't. Like, what
is
else?
that a
has she
direct
done?
adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's
What
probably
else
not
has
gonna be
the
too
writer
many
done?
changes.
yeah. I'm gonna look that up. So she's known for her acting, which includes a stint on CW's The Vampire Diaries. Oh no!
What's
And,
the
Oh,
actor's
no.
name?
and credits on shows such as the Michael J. Fox Show and the recent Star series Hightown. However, she
Okay,
was
what's
also
the name?
hang on. She has also built a thriving writing career in her play Which Way to the Stage off Broadway in 2022. In 2023, it was revealed that she was writing Supergirl. So her name is Anna Noguera. And if I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize.
And Britt makes a good point.
84 was critically panned, but not financially. So bench. Well, here's the thing.
It barely broke
Here's
even.
the thing, though. Benching one of the Trinity members,
Bad idea.
one of the most
Bad idea.
recognized. Wait.
Bad idea.
One of the most recognizable of your superheroes. That is the stupidest thing you could possibly do right now.
Yeah.
But again, Paradise Lost is a tie-in show, not a movie.
Yeah, it's not
So
even
they're obviously
Yeah.
so they're obviously saving Wonder Woman for Chapter 2, assuming Superman Legacy is a success. So
Which,
they're obviously
again-
saving. She'll have cameos here and there, but she won't get a solo film until Chapter 2.
So
no,
as far as
because
writing,
here's the thing. They
she
can't do
wrote
that.
We Win, a
Yeah.
short, and then Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is her first actual writing credit.
Oh boy. But
Andrew
anyway,
Medley,
Just
that was
actress
Tim
credits,
Drake.
though.
Andrew Medley, that was Tim Drake.
yeah, but JJheat, here's the thing about that. What was I gonna say? I
He's
think
pretty
it's
much been on the main C on TV. He's been on some pretty good TV shows. I'm looking at her IMDb right now.
the fact that CW was kind of concerning, but
Red flag.
Well, to be fair, she was
That's
also
not
on
really a
shows
red
like
flag.
She was on 4
She-
episodes of The Blacklist, which is a pretty good show.
okay.
Um,
But by Randy
she was
brings
on
up a
2
good
episodes
point.
of Blue Bloods.
Randy brings up a good point. They're throwing too much at the audience that this is a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah,
Arguably,
agree. I
what
agree.
they had already announced, like when James Gunn did that whole video, that was pushing it. But it's like, okay, that's fine. You're showing you have a plan. This is a lot. Daniel brings
Yeah.
up. As I said, James Gunn has no idea what DC Comics is. There is no DC Comics. There is no Justice League without Wonder Woman. Exactly. I don't know.
I feel like
but-
we're over analyzing this.
Yeah.
Granted, I came in late. I have no official sources. I'm just cross-referencing what you guys have. So from what I've seen and from the sources I have, more than likely, Diana's going to have cameos here and there, but she's
Mhm.
not going to get a solo film until chapter 2 or late
Yeah,
chapter
but
1 at the very
JJheat,
earliest.
They can't because James Gunn has said, I won't cast someone for someone else's movie. Then he went and casted Supergirl. But my thing is like, I don't think he will. Because according to Patty Jenkins, DC has no plans to for Wonder Woman, for any Wonder Woman in the near future.
Again, we don't even have a Justice League movie in chapter 1, at least from what's been
Yes,
Exactly.
we do. It's called
Yeah.
Superman. It's called Superman.
It's
That's
called
what it is,
Superman,
JJheat.
yeah.
Let's be honest. Wait,
Yeah,
so
let's-
David, what do you think of the Teen Titans movie, but no Wonder Woman movie?
I think it's like way too early to really like say anything because he could just say we're gonna make a
Easy
Teen
fix.
Titans movie, and people
Everything's
freak
so
out.
in flux. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
like people freak out about everything that guy says, and this is another thing where he could just be like, yeah, and like it could even be in chapter 3 for all we know. He could have 4 movies in his head before Teen Titans that we just don't know about.
And the other problem is like James Gunn just shoots his mouth on Twitter.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
news outlet says, like James Gunn says, you know, I think I'm gonna make Batman suit blue. And it's like
Exactly.
Batman's suit is gonna be blue. It's a certified fact.
Yep.
Yeah,
And you're like hot takes everywhere.
And to
Yeah.
add to Daniel's point, again,
Gunn
what
said
happened-
Wonder Woman will appear before 2027.
See, there you go. There's a timeline right there.
2027.
Superman Legacy comes out next
Mhm.
year. Brave and the
Batman
Bold
Part
really-
2 comes out in 2025.
I really
No,
don't like how he strung
One
Gal
at a time,
Gadot
guys.
along for a little while. Like, I really don't like that he did that.
Well, here's what we're not talking about. Gunn's contract expires around the time Superman is released. And if the sale goes through and Superman is not as big as is not a success, you could say they'll be like, we're not going to renew your contract. Now, if they now, and then I was on the Four Nerds the other day, and one of the things they said is that if that happens, in the unlikely event that happens, I think it's likely, they could just say, retool all these projects to make them solo movies. We're not doing we're taking a break from the shared continuity. Just make good one-off movies. If something picks up, then obviously there'll be sequels and stuff like that. Tavia says, what happens if Zaslav cancels all these projects in his team? Well, Tavia brings up a good point. We're also factoring in Zaslav.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, here's the thing. Zaslav doesn't know really what's going on around him. Let's be
He
quite
really
frank.
doesn't.
Yeah.
He really doesn't, right?
No, this is the extent of his
One at a
conversation.
time, guys.
Does it sell? And then it's a yes or no question. If it does sell, yes, we keep it. Does it not sell? No, we kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But you notice I think the reason why he keeps announcing stuff is because here's the interesting part. You notice how whenever Gunn announces something, there's like a little bit of social media buzz and then it dies down.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's
like why do you
doing
think
that.
there's like 15 different casting announcements or legacy?
Yeah, I think he's doing like he keeps going, we're getting a Teen Titans thing just to keep the DCU in people's minds, because I think Zaslav is starting to put the gun to gun, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
And is going, I'm not
Little
seeing a
on
lot
the
of
nose,
excitement I'm not seeing a lot of excitement for these projects.
I mean, also the fact that like, what does it announce that like Warner Brothers will be up for sale like next month or something?
It means that they can explore a sale. So if this is happening, and the thing about Zaslav, the reason why he bought Warner Brothers, this whole thing, the reason why he canceled all these movies, because he's trying to make Warner Brothers seem profitable to a company. If there's not a lot of like excitement or social media buzz about the projects, he's gonna tank them. Hell, we didn't even know Coyote versus Acme was coming out before he canceled it.
Right.
Well, the problem with Zaslav is Warner Brothers has a lot of debt. I think you linked me to the video.
85%. 85%.
And Zaslav is focused on cash flow and paying off the debt. The problem is, yeah, he's actually paid off quite a bit. Like I think he's paid off like $5 billion worth of the debt.
Yeah,
like he's actually made great strides. The problem is he's not really doing anything to create a sustainable business. Like he's canceling like, and when you look at it in that context, suddenly all the cancellations make perfect sense.
And to respond to what Nick's saying, I hate to cut you off, Jared. I'm just going to say this real quick. I think we need to cover the objective factor here. What if Zaslav pulls an Emmerich and just cuts his losses? That is the one thing we have not discussed, at least since I've been here. Because first of all, he got finessed by Emmerich almost 7 years ago when we got Warner Brothers Discovery to begin with, when Emmerich finagled the numbers. Well, am I saying Zaslav will resort to a similar tactic? No. But if push comes to shove, if likely Universal offers a pitch, or even Netflix for Snyder fans out there, he's gonna take it.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's more likely is Warner Brothers is going to get sold for a pittance. Basically, the Warner Brothers side, Zaslav's going to go back to doing Discovery because Discovery was profitable. We need to remember that Zaslav ran Discovery and is profitable.
That is true.
And his thing is he would be just as happy selling off Warner Brothers, selling off the debt, and that would probably include the Discovery debt too.
Some of it, yes.
And basically just running Discovery, and the thing is, Warner Brothers IP is valuable, so valuable. I can see someone like Universal, Apple, maybe Amazon if the FTC would allow it, basically taking those IPs for just the cost of the debt. I could totally see that deal happening.
And here's the other thing that for that debt, I guarantee you he is considering licensing out DC movies, i.e. Snyder movies, because that's when actually continuing it, because that's the easiest way to get bang for your buck, and because they're essentially paying you so they can make your movies. That's it.
The other problem is that's a double-edged sword.
Well, yeah,
it is. For every piece of content that he licenses out, that's one less piece of content that's not on Max. He's cutting off his nose to spite his face. Basically, Zaslav is doing a lot of short-term maneuvers because his focus is paying off that debt and building cash flow.
Selling.
I mean, that's speculation. I'm talking facts here right now. I'm just talking cold facts. I'm not talking about speculation.
Yeah.
Okay. What he's doing is he's doing a lot of short-term stuff at the expense of long-term growth and building a base. Instead of growing Max, he's selling the stuff and he's getting revenue. He's paying off the debt, but he's not concerned about growing the DC brand, growing the Max brand.
Tevia, he's not going to license out the games. I'm just going to tell you right there.
Tevia, here's the thing, Tevia. He's not going to do that. He's already said he's doing live service. That's that. Okay, you have to deal with it. You have to.
And he's not going to license out the games. That's not.
I disagree because I guarantee you, if like a big company came, it's like, hey, we'd like to make a Harry Potter game. We'll pay for everything. In fact, we'll just pay you a licensing fee and we'll give you a cut of the revenue. Zealous will be like, sold.
Yep.
If it's an offshore project or a off-source project, then he'll take. Yeah, all you have to do is cover the license.
Let's say EA came and be like, "Hey, we'll pay you $50 million for the rights to do a Harry Potter game. We'll give you a cut of the revenue. We'll pay for everything." Zaslav would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
if I may speak.
But Zaslav
outsourcing. We're talking outsourcing and distribution of license for these projects. If we're talking outsourcing for little to no cost, from an objective standpoint, then Zaslav would be smart to do it. But from
he's not smart.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. But all right,
he's not smart. So
here's the thing there. When Gunn was announced, the one thing I heard was so many people saying, "Oh, creators are lining up at the door to work with Gunn," and I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because Zaslav keeps canceling movies before they come out. Who is going to line up to work for a company that you could work for 2 years or so on a project, or 2 to 5 years, let's say, get almost at the finish line, pretty much done, and
Well,
they say
make the
we're not
whole
going to
thing.
release it.
I mean, Warner Brothers is so scatterbrained. They make so many of these decisions at the expense of creatives. Like, look at what happened during the pandemic when they suddenly decided to have Tenet, Dune, all these movies come out day in day out. Like they pissed off Christopher Nolan really bad.
Yeah.
Like that's one
And
of the
he
reasons
left.
why.
And think
Yeah,
about this:
he
if they had not pissed him off, they would have gotten like 7 Oscars from Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
If
if they
they had
hadn't
not
pissed him
pissed
off, he
off
would have
Zack
made Oppenheimer with
Snyder,
Warner Brothers.
If they're not pissed off Zack Snyder, they would have had a top performing DC universe.
Separate regime, Jared.
But also, here's the other thing you got to
No,
realize:
it's the same thing, JJheat.
if Oppenheimer was a Warner Brothers movie, we would have never gotten Barbieheimer, because Barbie was a Warner Brothers movie. There's no way they would have released both movies at the same time. So
Yeah.
Barbenheimer
True.
would have never happened.
True.
And
You gotta get
Barbenheimer
mad.
was a big reason why both movies did so well.
Okay, that's a good point. But let's see what other questions. So
I mean, Oppenheimer
Tavia
still would have won Oscars, though. I will say that.
Tavia brings up a good point. Speaking of Teen Titans, that reminds me, who do you think the team will be? And I'll start with Andrew drops off a $2 Canadian super chat. Remember the whole mess with Sweet Baby?
Go
ICA?
watch the live stream that
Hey.
I just did. We went all over that.
No
Yeah.
comment. No comment.
If you
But-
want,
but-
if you want to hear mine and Jared's comments, go watch.
but
Friday Night
anyway,
Frenzy.
Tavia says, question. Speaking of Teen Titans, that reminds me, who do you think will be on the team? So I'll start with Nick. Who do you think would be a good team for the movie?
I feel like they're probably going to stick to the Marv Wolf and George Perez well.
Mhm.
So Robin is a
So-
shoe-in. Cyborg and Raven as well. Other than that, probably Beast Boy. I don't think Cyborg, because Cyborg is probably going to be on the Justice League. I guess from there you have some question marks. Maybe Speedy. I
But
don't think we'll
again-
see any Wonder Woman character like Troya or Wonder
Yeah,
Girl.
because you don't have a Wonder Woman yet.
Superboy. I mean, if he shows up in Legacy, maybe.
But
Maybe.
here's the thing. You have to do the death of Superman before you can bring in Superboy.
Yeah.
True.
And importantly,
I mean, you can do it before that, but yeah.
no, but remember, because Connor showed up after the death. If
You
you
could
well,
wanna
in Titans,
respect
he
the
showed
comic-
up before Superman died.
Well, because as
Semantics.
far
Also,
actually,
Young
wait,
Justice, he
wait,
showed up before Superman
wait,
died.
wait, Nick. As far as we know, both shows could have taken place after the death of Superman. It took a while for the Superman DNA to
Well,
grow.
Young Justice, it definitely isn't, because like the whole Superboy as a clone, that's a storyline that can happen independent of Death of Superman. It's been done twice already.
Okay.
Again, that's Connor being spliced in of itself, not him actually debuting as a public hero. Those are two separate instances, even in the context of the show. Because in the context of the show, Superboy didn't officially debut as a public hero till like the end of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was still doing stuff. Like he was still doing stuff with the Titans as early as season 2. At the end of season 2 is kind of when he did debut. Like, because they had that big fight at the park, and he was there, and he was wearing the Superman stuff. So that was probably his public introduction.
So, JJheat, give me like five Teen Titans members to be on the movie team.
This could go one or two ways. It depends how much James Gunn really wants to milk synergy here. He could go the DeCamu route, or he could go the Marv Wolfman, George Perez, or the modern route. I'm not going to say classic because the Teen Titans are a golden age team. No, early silver age, excuse me.
Late
Early
Silver Age, because they were late
Silver.
60s.
Late Silver
Here's
Age, thank
one
you.
thing we're not considering real quick. He did say that Blue Beetle takes place in his universe.
Oh,
Blue
interesting.
Beetle is so standalone.
No. He basically he very much worded it so that if Blue Beetle was successful, he could say it's in his universe, but after it was unsuccessful, he very quickly backtracked it. He
Okay.
specifically did it so that like if the Blue Beetle was successful, and it wasn't. So
Okay, I see.
sorry, JJheat, I talked over you.
Mm-hmm. What about characters like Jericho and Rose? You can't do those yet because you would have to do the Judas contract, and that
Jared.
requires some setup.
For
Jared,
Tara
let's say you
and
go.
Jericho, maybe. For Rose, that's a separate storyline called the Renegade storyline. And Nick, I know you remember this one especially. That act from the late 90s, early 2000s, I believe 2003, and it expired the Red X persona in the cartoon.
but the other thing is bringing in Terra automatically triggers Judas contract. That's a problem.
You could save Judas' contract for a sequel, even if it's just a post-credit scene. You could
Yeah,
save
but
Judas'
it needs to be
contract for a sequel.
mentioned. Like if you do if you're like, let's say you do a Teen Titans one with Terra, you need to have like a post-credit scene where like, oh, she's working with Deathstroke. You
Yeah,
need to
she
reveal that.
reports to Slade in the post credit. That's one way you could do that.
That's
But anyways,
that's an easy fix.
yeah. So, JJheat, your lineup.
My lineup, again, you could either go the modern
Mhm.
route, Nightwing,
Okay.
Starfire, Cyborg, Raven, Beast Boy, and maybe a potential six-member depending, or you could go the Decamu route as a branch off or spin off from Brave and the Bold. Even then, it's just going to feel like a repeat of the Decamu because the Teen Titans aren't their own IP. They're just a branch off of Damian's own character arc.
Yeah.
And maybe if they do Superman and Wonder Woman, they can break them off screen in between the movies and shoehorn a Lois Lane relationship.
You're really never going to let that go, are you?
No, because it's stupid. That's
And
why.
then what
Death
they can
in
do,
Rain
like-
is
like-
a
like-
Lois story.
And then
Death
what they
is
can
not a
do for
Lois
Titans-
story. Death
then
is
what
not
they
a
can do for
Lois story.
Titans-
Rain is.
Then what they can do for Titans is they can bring in Cassie Sandsmark as Wonder Girl and
There
pair
you
her up with
go.
Damian.
But they would need for that to. Here's the
Ever
thing about
since
that, Nick.
deceased. This is why I would never.
No,
understand shit.
but here's the thing.
No,
what they
you
would-
guys don't realize what I just did.
Let me finish. Well, the problem with that is that then you need a Wonder Woman. See, this is the problem. All the good ideas require a different setup than what these people are doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the thing. All these are fantastic ideas. Cassie on the Teen Titans. Yes, that all sounds great. You need Wonder Woman. I don't understand what this universe is doing. At least with Zach, what were the first three movies pretty much that came out with his universe? Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Of the
Well,
Justice
to
League.
be fair, I don't think we should be using the Snyderverse as an example of how to properly set it up because that's one of the biggest flaws of Snyderverse.
No, but what I mean is that
Video
at least, at the very least, as rushed as it was, at least the first like early movies were a Superman movie, pretty much a Batman movie, and a Wonder
No,
Woman movie.
I'm sorry, I got to disagree. The Snyderverse was very like it's. I love the Snyderverse, but its setup was a big problem. The movie. If you want like proper setup, look at Marvel Phase 1.
Nick,
They
I
didn't-
understand that. All I'm saying is that the fact that it started off with a Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman movie
It didn't
makes
start off
it-
with Batman.
What's up, Havoc?
Batman versus Superman is
Yes,
pretty much
yeah.
a Batman movie.
It's not pretty much a Batman movie. It's a crossover movie between a character that we love, Superman, and then a character that we just meet Batman for the first time.
Fair enough. I see it as a Batman movie. My point is, you featured Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman immediately. That's why
Also,
it got better.
I agree with Sin Havoc. I agree with Sin.
Well, yes, that's true. And that's my problem. People are saying that like Blue Beetle failing is because of Zack Snyder from BVS.
There's no
And I'm
way.
like, wait a second here.
Blue Beetle was standalone. I can
Yeah.
understand Black Adam, but
Well,
Blue
Blue
they
Beetle is
think be-
part of the universe, at least. It is part of the universe.
They think because Zack did some character damage that's why like movies like Birds of Prey failed. And I'm like, there's a lot of reasons why Birds of Prey failed.
I gotta say this. I gotta say this.
Go ahead. Go
With
ahead.
Birds of Prey. Say what you will about licensing, Harley Quill's popularity, all of that. Say what you will about that. But all you did was Birds of Prey was just rip off Deadpool 2 and called it a day.
Mhm.
Am I wrong?
The
Am I wrong?
fact that it's very
Oh,
clearly a
God.
Harley Quinn movie, and you call it Bird. Like, you notice how
Yeah.
in the theaters they actually changed the name of the movie a week after it got released to Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which, by the way, that should have been the name of the movie for the
Or how about
entire
that
series.
long ass name too that couldn't fit on the
The
marquee?
Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Like,
I'm
they
like-
should have been called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
There you go.
Simple,
That was it.
effective, it's perfect.
Because her name was really big back then because of Suicide Squad. So you didn't factor that in. But anyway, moving on.
I
David,
always-
you're
Like, Harley, and here's the other problem is Harley's not really associated with the Birds of Prey. Gotham City's
no,
like,
she's
like,
not.
They should have
It's a
done a
marketing
Gotham City
gimmick,
Sirens movie.
One at a
Like
time.
Harley
guys.
Quinn, Gotham Siren, or whatever.
Yeah. Or actually have Barbara Gordon on the Birds of Prey. But anyway, David.
Or the Sirens. It's like Ivy, Harley.
No,
and Catwoman,
I
that's
know,
Sirens.
but what I'm saying is if you're gonna do the Birds of Prey, have like Barbara Gordon on the team first off. But anyway,
Yeah.
so David,
Yeah.
give me a Teen Titans team. I'll say like 5 members. Go.
I can think of 4 that will for sure be there, and then the
Okay.
rest is like whatever they decide to do with the universe and whoever they decide to introduce.
Okay.
Because Beast Boy is definitely going to be there. Starfire is
Yeah.
definitely going to be there. Raven is definitely going to be there, and Robin is going to be there. The rest, who knows? Who knows who
What
they
they could
introduce?
do is make it so they show like the Teen Titans like going to the Doom Patrol and meeting Beast Boy and then
Ah.
recruiting him. Because
Oh, so
isn't
like
that
exactly how they
goes
did
to-
in the show.
Yeah, in the show. That was a cool way they did in the show. Is that the way they did in the comics, or was he just automatically on the team?
Yeah, I think he was actually part of the original Teen Titans towards the end of the run because he was part of Doom Patrol at first, and then because like I actually haven't read much of the original run, but like if like here, do you remember when we were reading it? They already knew who Beast Boy was. Like they're already familiar with him.
Oh, I'm sorry,
they met him before.
Changeling. That was such a stupid name.
He
But
was an
anyway-
extended member towards the end of the classic Teen Titans. He was an extended member, similar with Bumblebee. He
Yeah.
was an extended member. But by the
Andrew-
time, yeah.
Andrew brings up no, they use one film BVS to bring in the Train the Most Super. Again, I'm not saying it was effective. All I'm saying,
Appreciate
Is
the
that-
super chat, by the way.
yes, I appreciate that.
I will
Andrew.
say the
Wait,
way
wait,
they did
I'm
the
not done
Trinity.
yet. All I'm
Okay.
saying is that pretty much the first 3 heroes that they put in this universe, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, the Trinity.
Yep. All in order in the first 3
See,
movies.
here's a problem though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, they did it, but they did it in a very rushed and haphazard way. Do I like the Trinity scenes in BVS? Yes. Do I like Wonder Woman's entrance? Yes. But the problem is, and this is a problem with the Snyderverse, as much as I love it, I have to admit it, the whole entire and it's not even like Zach's fault. This is WB's fault. It was very rushed.
Yeah.
Very-
Like they
Absolutely.
forced Zach. Like
No one's
because
denying
remember, we
that,
talked about this. Zach wanted to do a Man of Steel 2 and a Batman before BVS. So this is not Zach's fault. It's WB's fault.
I think he even wanted to do Wonder Woman first, if I remember correctly.
He
But
did.
I would not be surprised.
yeah,
It would've-
so in
it
other words,
would've
he
made
wanted.
more sense.
Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
It would have made more sense, like timeline wise, because it's kind of like how when you put the MCU in timeline order, like Captain America's first because it happened first.
Now,
Hey Jared,
True.
remember like how I detailed what I thought the plot
Mm-hmm.
to the Batman movie should have been?
yeah, we can talk about that on a future stream, but I have to get this moving. But
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Claudia, your Titans
Yeah.
team.
I would go with the George Perez run
Good.
with
All right.
Titans. I think that's the simplest way to do it, and the most effective way to basically get people introduced to Teen Titans.
Or
Yeah.
see, with me, I would say the Perez run. The alternative that could be acceptable, and again, this requires more setup than they've already done. But I would have said the early Young Justice team. But even then, you need a Flash movie to introduce Kid
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah.
Well,
You
Kid
would need
Flash
more
was a part
movies.
of the Titans. He
Wait,
is a
Pete-
like.
Are we
is-
referring
yeah.
to Peter David's run or Jeff Johns' run when the Young Justice are rebranded?
No, I'm
into
talking
Teen
about the show Young Justice.
Okay, we're talking about a
See,
completely different
I think the thing is the Teen Titans brand is a lot stronger than Young Justice.
It is.
Plus, I
A
gotta
lot
be honest
stronger.
with you, I never really liked the name Young Justice. I thought it was a very weak name.
Yeah, that's really
Teen Titans is just a very, very strong brand name.
But again, I'm like, how do you have Teen Titans without Wonder Girl? You don't have a Wonder Woman movie. That's how.
To be
Yes,
fair,
I'm-
2003, I don't think they ever even mentioned Wonder Girl.
She appeared in the tie-in comic, I do remember, in Teen Titans 03.
Yeah,
but
and
she never
that's
had
the
an
most,
animated
like-
appearance.
And Teen Titans 2003 is probably the most popular iteration of those characters.
Tevia asks one more quick question, then we'll transition to a new topic. What villain do you want for the movie? I don't want Deathstroke. Save him. You could
I mean,
go.
Mad Mod needs to make an appearance.
Who's Mad Mod?
He does appear in the cartoon. He's kind of like he's basically kind of like Arcade almost.
I see. Because I was about to say you could do Trigon.
No,
Well, yeah.
way too much build-up.
Trigon is basically your third movie villain.
Okay,
Um,
I could see that. I could see that.
Also, but here's the thing: Mad Mod in the cartoon is voiced by Malcolm McDowell. I actually wouldn't mind him playing him live action. And like,
Wait,
come
what was
on,
that
man,
one character from the
Duckies.
cartoon that was like this super nerd who had all these screens up all the time? What was
Gizmo?
No,
his name?
Mad Mod was like the Funhouse kind of guy. Like
Okay.
you would remember. Like what do you?
I remember Mad. I remember Madhouse. I remember Mad. Control Freak. That's what I'm thinking of. Control Freak.
Gizmo is another villain they could use. There's
They
also
could
Hive.
if they want to do Deathstroke as the villain, like they could make him a movie 2 guy and do like make movie 2 Judas Contract and then use the first movie to like introduce all that
Actually,
stuff and then have Terra.
I think
got
the
it.
first movie should be Hive and Brother Blood. That's what I think.
Dang
Okay.
it, Nick! You beat me to it.
All right, there you go.
Sorry.
You can do that because that's a fantastic idea. That's a
You
great
go
idea.
from Hive,
Brother
then you go to
Blood and
Judas
Hive
Contract,
basically
and then
get
you go to
two
Trigon
cults.
the Terrible.
One at a time, guys. But anyway, so WB should do individual movies first because of financial constraints. You know, baby steps. Yeah, because rushing worked out swimmingly for them last time. But anyway, so let's move on to a new topic. So do you guys want to talk about AI art in the Batman comic, the creator of X-Men being fired, Henry Cavill as Wolverine? What do you want to talk about?
I think they're
Henry
AI.
Cavill's Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah, that's news to me too.
All right, so where is a good? I don't have a Wolverine one, but so it was heavily rumored now that Henry Cavill plays a variant of Wolverine in Deadpool. How hilarious would that be again if like Henry Cavill ends up becoming a Marvel mainstay?
Oh man, that'd be great for him.
Oh, wait. And then what if Gal Gadot gets cast as Jean Grey?
No, because I don't want her constantly dying.
No. Do you realize what I just did?
No, I know, but I don't want because first off, that would make Henry Cavill an adulterer, and then I don't want Jean Grey to constantly die.
I have a question for you. If you could cast Gal Gadot as an X-Men character, who would it be?
Okay,
I think she could play Emma Frost.
Yeah,
She
let's
could
say
play
Emma
Emma
Frost,
Frost.
and then have Henry Cavill as Cyclops. There you go.
I knew you were gonna go there. I knew it.
There you go. And Atchison's got the better option. Henry Cavill as Hyperion and Gal Gadot.
Please no. Please no.
Please
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's a power move for Marvel to get a Squadron Supreme movie with the actors and get
Please
Zack Snyder.
no. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get actually annoyed with
That's
all
a
this
joke. It's a
Supreme
joke,
stuff.
Nick. Just stop. It's a joke. Henry Cavill, Wolverine, Hellfire, Patcher, Spider-Man UK. No, I want him to play Cyclops and then have Gal Gadot as Emma Frost. The problem is, here's the problem with her playing Emma Frost. Emma Frost has a bit of a more paler, complexion.
Very pasty.
No. Also, what if like when he goes to meet Patch and he sees this Henry Cavill, like, wait, Superman, what are you doing here?
I don't think they can legally do that because rights and stuff, but that'd be hilarious. Don't forget post Endgame Marvel. Do you really trust them? Nope.
I just think
that's true.
I just think like they're trying to make like Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine thing. I'm sorry, that's never gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
That doesn't work. I don't.
Henry
see him playing
Cavill,
Wolverine.
I could see that. I could
How
see him
tall?
playing Wolverine.
How tall is Cavill?
That's true. Here's a good one. Emily Blunt is Emma Frost and John Krasinski is Cyclops. Oh, there you go. She even has
Emily Blunt
because
would
it was
be-
kind of funny. Emma Frost works with a British accent.
Yes, she does.
They're going with a younger version of the X-Men. Yeah, I know. Which I've seen, by the way, Sydney Sweeney as Emma Frost.
Oh wow,
Can we have Jenna Ortega as Rogue, please?
that'd be nice.
Okay, I can see that.
I can see that. I can see that. Who would be a good
My
Storm?
power is your power. I can take more than one.
And I swear, can they use her to get rid of Captain Marvel, please, please? It's better if it's a one-off cameo for Cavill instead of being tied to a sinking ship. Cavill's working on something better for Warhammer. The problem is, do you trust
Fair
Amazon
enough,
to
Dave.
properly do Warhammer? That's the thing.
Well, Henry is basically the head creative force for that. So
True.
I think they're. But also, you
Completely
got to
different
realize
situation.
Amazon does actually let their like. Remember, Reacher is on Amazon. We need to remember
Invincible
that.
too. That's the
Invincible.
other thing.
They do let their artists cook if they're being successful.
Oh, there we go.
Like Amazon
Glenn
is actually
Powell.
surprisingly hands off.
Yeah, Glenn Powell as Cyclops and Sydney Sweeney as Emma Frost. Yeah, that works.
No, I want Glenn Powell to play
Gambit.
No. Well, actually, I think I said this. Like Sydney Sweeney as Black Canary and Glenn Powell as Oliver Queen.
I could definitely see that. He has the if you see him and I've said this before, to add to Nick's idea about Top Gun secretly being Green Lantern, imagine if in the same way that Pete Mitchell is actually Hal Jordan, Glenn Powell's character Hangman is actually Oliver Queen.
Also, we all know that Sydney Sweeney needs to play Power Girl. We all know.
Yeah. That. Oh yeah. And by the way, I would title my Top Gun. I would title my Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Top Gun movie "Hard Traveling Heroes." There you go.
No, I call it Top Gun Lanterns Light.
No, but it also includes Green Arrow, and if you have Green Lantern and Green Arrow together, you gotta title it that way. You just gotta for that book. And you can have them in the same way that they were driving throughout America to like discover the country. They just fly a fighter jet across.
Also,
America.
if I was making that movie, I would like have the Speedy Junkie scene, but I would literally frame it so that's like an exact recreation of the cover. Like I'd have it framed exactly the same way.
Have the actors actually posed in that way. But yeah. So
Songbird.
But with this, it looks like and. This is just one of the many cameos that like Deadpool, because apparently Deadpool's supposed to have a crop ton of cameos. So, I mean, it's gonna be really cool to see who shows up because
how crazy would it be if both Daredevil and Elektra showed up and because like they're ex.
I mean, that would be actually really cool. I would dig that. But you also have like. Marston was kind of being coy that he was on the set of Deadpool when asked if he's returning as Cyclops. So I'm like, yeah, thank you for pretty much confirming you're doing it. Thank you.
I mean, I think Famke Johnson is like, I think we know that like Elektra is returning. I think we've pretty much confirmed that. Famke Johnson, I believe, is coming back as well. I mean, I would be surprised if Chris Evans does not appear as Johnny Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because, like, come on, we want to have Johnny Storm come in swearing up a storm, and then Deadpool say, language!
Yes, exactly. Marvel needs all the help they can get. Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Watch Deadpool be the only Marvel movie that does well, and the rest of them just tank.
Also, okay, what's that one character, one actress? She was in the movie Ghosted with Chris Evans that Ryan Reynolds made appearance in.
Oh, you mean
Is it Ana de Armas?
Yeah,
Ana de Armas. If she were to appear in Deadpool, what should she appear as? Also, I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift's going to appear as Dazzler. I think.
No.
I don't know.
Taylor's out of my comic book movies.
Her and Ryan Reynolds are friends. He even borrowed the Deadpool costume for Halloween.
You do not deserve such a weapon.
I think Taylor Swift appearing as Dazzler is a pretty high likelihood in my opinion.
Question: what happens if this rumor of Henry Cavil doesn't turn out to be true? It's a lie.
It's whatever. I move on because there's a million of these rumors that appear
because it's
every
like
day.
Okay, it was BS. It's not like the world ends or like the movie's canceled. It's just
what happens is dogs and cats start living together, human sacrifices, mass hysteria.
I mean, there's been rumors for weeks that he took like a big role with Marvel and nothing's come of it, and that was weeks ago.
I mean, and the thing is, someone like Henry Cavil, like his stature, his star power, there's only a certain few amount of roles he could play. Like Captain Britain, I think Henry Cavil is definitely a big enough star, and like he's got the size.
Hyperion.
Fluff off. I wanted to curse you out so bad, but I'm on your screen. I think he could play Wolverine long term. He's young enough. He's got the physicality for it, for sure. Yep. I think he could do it.
And it's kind of funny. You know what I realized when I heard this rumor about him playing Wolverine? he can do the Wolverine voice, because have you heard of, because when you hear him as Geralt, he kind of that shows me he can get to that Wolverine like voice.
I swear, the first time I hear Wolverine say F, it's gonna sound exactly like Geralt.
Oh, you know what'd be hilarious is if Deadpool tosses a coin to Wolverine. He goes, "What?" He's like, "No, I heard a song. Don't worry about it." And then he goes, and then as Wolverine's charging into battle, you see Deadpool going, "Oh, Valley of Plenty."
No. He's like, wait, Geralt, what are you doing here?
See, I don't think they can legally name these characters in there.
I mean, they did
well,
name
wait,
drop
they did
Superman
do
in Eternals.
Yeah, exactly. But by the way, how about this? Eternals is being transformed. So basically, Eternals 2 is canceled.
Oh, that's the other thing. Eternals, Captain Marvel, like apparently they're canceling a lot of movies.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. Currently in Disney, there's this big like battle going on for board seats,
Nelson
and reportedly, reportedly the two board members, one of the things on their platform, if you will, what they were calling for is a big evaluation of Disney, of the leadership and the projects they are like evaluating and like greenlighting. So they're like, wait a second, you got us. All of a sudden, Disney's like, quick, we're going to get fired. Quick, cancel these movies.
I mean, they finally figured out that like what they've been doing the past like 5 years like really hasn't worked. Like everything after Endgame that's Marvel related has all been bad for the most part. And then even their own studios, like the Disney Animation Studio, none of their stuff has done good.
Well, the problem with Disney and Marvel is after Endgame, basically Kevin Feige took one hand off the wheel, and Victoria Alonso was running the day-to-day for Phase 4. And the other thing is, the problem with the shows is they were running these like they were the movies, and these shows needed dedicated showrunners. That's why a lot of these failed, is they're all chaotic messes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you notice how as soon as Kevin Feige started to take a more active role, everything kind of started to get better. Like, Kevin Feige is still a good producer. Like, look at what happened with Daredevil. Look how quickly they righted that ship as soon as Kevin Feige saw the footage and saw how much of a disaster that was going to be. All of a sudden, the Netflix shows were canon. They brought back Karen. They brought back Foggy. You know, they brought back Bullseye. The costumes of Daredevil, Bullseye look like crap, but everything else looks good.
They brought back Punisher, which I'm still wondering.
Yeah.
He hasn't been officially confirmed yet.
Okay, but I thought it was confirmed that Punisher is showing up in Daredevil.
As far as I've heard, it's not official. If you have an official source, not speculation, not like discussing film reports.
Yeah, I got it. But let me see. Okay, he's just teasing. But the point is, like, if they bring back the Punisher, here's my problem with that. Marvel has butchered the character to the point where I'm like, are you gonna kill him off and then replace him with a nobody?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Right here. All the woke activists took over and started screwing up with the characters, and I'm like, you can't do this. But anyway, so Taladia, what do you think of Cavill coming back as Wolverine?
I think it's weird in some aspect that he's gonna come back and do a role that
rumor.
Well, it is a rumor, right? Obviously, take it with a grain of salt because we don't know if it's legit. But if he does return back, does another superhero movie, it's good for him in terms of getting that role. But at the same time, the fact that you've got, the Snyder fans out there, they'll be like, well, we want him as Superman. We want him as Hyperion. We don't want him as Wolverine.
We want him to hang out with Zarda, played by Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
I swear, if they announce a Squadron Supreme movie with these actors, I'm gonna be jumping up and down, going, "I told you so."
Yeah,
just
like when you say that when the Snyderverse is restored, that I told you so.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go on Nerdette stream and go, and guess who's right?
Oh
Everyone
wait,
who laughed at me?
that?
My turn.
Who's that Native American character from New Mutants? I want her to be played by Jennifer Midthunder.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Is it like Moon? It's like Moon something. Hang on. Let me
Yeah.
see. New Mutants. Which actually, here's the thing about that movie. It wasn't as bad as people pointed
Well,
out.
the problem is, like if they had actually gone through and made like an R-rated like mutant horror movie,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's like it probably would have still bombed, but I think it would have been a cult favorite. Like it would have been kind of like one of those like,
Hey,
oh
what's
yeah,
up?
it bombed, but it's really good.
Yeah, Danny Moonstar. It's something like that. Right. Tevia asked a good question. Let's talk about this before we change topics. What's going to happen to Kang now? Because reportedly, they're moving away from Kang. Now, Comic Storian did an interesting video where he said what they should just do: abandon the whole like. Get rid of like the Avenger. Get rid of Kang completely from Avengers. Whatever this one is. Do like a small level Avengers movie, like small, like they assemble to fight like a certain group of people, like an evil organization. Let's say that way you restore the Avengers. That's a fun hashtag, and then you and then what you do is you introduce new Avengers, and then you can move into Secret Wars, or you could do like Battle World or something like that. But Kang will return. Secret Wars, we'll see. I highly doubt they're going to do that.
I highly doubt
The
it.
New Mutants wasn't bad. I hope they don't move away from Kang. That would be a terrible mistake. It never goes well when you change stories midstream. Well, they are, and reportedly they were. It wasn't necessarily the Jonathan Majors thing that made them want to move away. It was Ant-Man completely bombing that they were like, oh. Okay. Which here's the thing that right there it shows the problem with Marvel because they were like because remember part of the reason why they wanted to do Kang is because of Jonathan Majors' performance in Loki. In other words, they didn't really plan this out that well.
I mean,
To
when
set
you
this up.
have Loki Kang appear in 2 movies and get beaten in embarrassingly ways each time,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah.
And by the way, Sin Havoc, he was fired. Jonathan Majors was fired.
Yeah, they pretty much announced it as soon as he got the guilty plea.
Yeah, they announced that they are not going to do anything with him. Bombing is irrelevant. You can't be reactionary. It's never smart. Well, I never said these studios were smart. I'm just saying that's the justification that they gave. Because remember, Warner Brothers is very reactionary.
Yeah, WB is many things.
WB is the king of reactionary BS. But Fantastic Four should be the start of that reboot. Yeah, that's what they could do, or they can do, or they can do like X-Men. Will Secret Wars suck? I don't. It depends. I need to see more of it, obviously, but they have a potential there, particularly if they maybe tell like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, come back for one movie, be Captain America and Iron Man, just for one movie, bid farewell, and then Captain America and Iron Man. But then you can do in the post Secret Wars, have the X-Men be the focus. What do you
Also, I want a scene in Secret Wars where Spider-Man gets his costume ripped up. They're like, oh yeah, there's a machine in the next room, and you repair it. And he does it, and just his goop shoots out at him.
Yeah, it's Sin Havoc. Marvel Studios fired him on December 18th, the same day they got they can, because there is a morality clause in a lot of these contracts that says that if you're like convicted of a heinous crime, even if you're convicted in a court of law of a crime, we can kick you out.
Yep.
That's where a lot of these Disney contracts go. I'm honestly not excited for Secret Wars. The direction and writing feels like it's going to be horrible. Well, yeah, it's also the multiverse thing. Jonathan Major, Disney had Majors being interviewed. It doesn't mean he's not. It doesn't mean he's not fired. That's just Disney trying to get on the algorithm and like to get views. That's really what that means. Hot take: the MCU peaked with Infinity War. Yeah, because here's the thing with Endgame, you have to watch the previous like 20 movies in order to like fully appreciate it. With Infinity War, you can still watch it. It still needs some setup, but you can still watch that. What do you guys think?
I feel like the team for Secret Wars is going to be like kind of terrible. Like they don't really have star power like they used to.
Well, they've been talking about like bringing back everyone. Like apparently Toby and Andrew are supposed to be coming back for Secret Wars.
Yes.
Like they
Can
have
one of
to.
them have a
Like,
black suit? Eh?
Like, also, like, can we at least have like Michael Shitless come back to play the Thing at least once? Because
Yeah.
he was like probably one of the best parts of that movie. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a
I
person
do
who
agree.
likes the 2005 Fantastic Four movie, but he was a great character.
Marvel loves I have so much faith in Disney and Marvel. I think being reactionary about well, here's the thing. I wouldn't have. You can have faith in Feige for the most part, even though he greenlit movies like Shang-Chi, but it's like to have faith in
Again,
Disney,
a lot of these movies were ruined by Victoria Alonso.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Like the crappy CGI can be directly laid at her feet. Directly.
Yeah. So let me put it this way. For the most part, I personally have to see more of like good decisions being made before I can like go, okay, maybe they're starting to like redeem themselves. Because if they do that, totally fine. Shang-Chi was awesome. Yeah, but here's the thing: these studios only react off of the revenue. Because here's what a lot of people forget about these studios: they're a business. I can't think of any Marvel movies with crappy CGI. Ant-Man, literally Ant-Man. Just
Thor.
look at MODOK.
Love and Thunder looked pretty spotty at some points.
Yeah, he's also a big Fantastic Four fan. Even hoping before he was cast as the Thing to one day play him. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, he played the Thing very well, and I think him being in like physical prosthesis helped his role because like that's a problem with like Thing in modern times is we'll just CG him, you know. I don't know.
Here's the problem. They'll do a CG thing. They won't do what they did in the Fantastic Four movie. You know, that's the way. The Thing is one of those characters where you can do that. It's not like you need a CGI Hulk guy. Because I think if they just did exactly what they did in the original Fantastic Four movies and just did that, I think it would.
And you know what? That costume still holds up. Like that.
It does hold up.
They really do.
They could just put him back in that suit, like legit back in that suit. You're good to go. That's all. You don't need any CGI for
kind of degraded a little bit.
No, but what I mean is like recreate it, rebuild it, but just keep that. You're good because again, that suit looks perfect nowadays. When I watch the movie, it holds up very well.
So, fun fact for Spider-Man: No Way Home. Andrew was literally in his Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, like the same exact one. For Toby, they actually had to build him a new one.
Really? I didn't know that.
And they basically used the Spider-Man 3 suit. They made a whole new Spider-Man 3 suit.
Huh.
That's cool. I swear.
I just thought, fun facts.
The times when that movie got me crying, good tears, was every time they played the dun dun dun. They played his theme from the movies because I'm like, I remember those movies, and I was like, oh, God dang it, Marvel, you're
one of my
killing
favorite
me.
moments.
Yeah,
is when they're on like the bridge and Tom says with great power, and then Toby says great responsibility, and then Andrew says like, yeah, mine said it, but different words. Like they acknowledged it. They acknowledged it. Like, that's the problem I had with Amazing Spider-Man. It's like they had the speech, but they did everything but say it. I was like, come on, just at this point, just say it.
My other favorite scene is when they're when they're talking about the different villains they fought, and then Andrew's like, "I want to fight an alien."
Yeah.
By the way, I actually watched Amazing Spider-Man last night. I realized I actually go back and watch Amazing Spider-Man way more than the Amazing films because, like, the Amazing Spider-Man actually holds up to modern standards. Like, it's actually still enjoyable, whereas Toby's film is a bit quaint.
It's kind of dated a little bit now because I watched that movie like maybe a month or so ago, and I thought the same thing.
It's good. I mean, Kristen Dunst as Mary Jane kind of takes it down a peg for me, but like Amazing Spider-Man, when you view it through a modern lens, it still holds up amazingly well. It's just that film could come out today exactly as is, and it would look better than everything Sony has done. Like Amazing Spider-Man looks better than Madam Web.
Yep.
And then movie lovers goes making how silly he looks. Actual joke in the film. Yeah, I understand that, but it's just they could have made the face look less fake looking. They could have, in other words, ouch, Madam Web, exactly. Yeah, I saw a shot of that movie. I haven't watched it yet. It's out on like digital now, by the way. That's how tells you how fast that was. So there's a shot in the movie. You guys have probably seen it. They left the sound boom in the shot.
Where?
They
Which
pulled a
In-
Game of Thrones.
The shot. Actually, you know what? I could probably find it. Hang on.
Wait, you're talking about
Madam-
Madam Web?
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to show you this.
I'm sure it's not as bad as if you're in an ancient, feudal, ancient society where dragons roam the earth and somehow there's a Starbucks cup on the table.
They
All right,
went
here we
full
go.
Game of
You
Thrones.
ready? Check this out. Check this out. Stellar CGI, but look at
Wow.
What?
that in the frame.
And the worst part
That's
is
in the
that's
trailer.
easy to remove. That's actually very easy
Just
to remove.
zoom in or like key it out. It's not that hard.
Because I
that in
guarantee
the
you that
trailer?
background is a green screen background anyway. So it's like,
Yeah. That's in the movie, guys. That's in the movie.
like literally, Jared, you could probably remove that. From
I
the
can.
movie.
I know how to do it. I've done it on my stuff before. But they didn't even try. They didn't even try to blooper that. Exactly, hero mode.
Oh, remember in Book of Boba Fett where you had that one shot where you actually see like the behind the facade?
Oh wow. The one thing I remember mostly that happens all the time. You see, I don't see it that blatantly though. Movie lovers, that's a rare occurrence. And by the way, all I remember from the Book of Boba Fett is the teenagers with attitudes on motorcycles. I say teenagers with attitudes because they were obviously lampooning Power Rangers with that. Boba even tells Fennec Shan, he basically says, I want like assassins. So he basically says, I want teenagers with attitude.
Jared, I'm gonna send you a photo in the chat, and you need to see this because like I referenced it a second ago, but
Did you share it?
No, I put it in the chat. I referenced it a second ago.
Do you want me to share it as well?
Yes, it's perfectly appropriate.
Oh, yeah. I remember this. I'm not even a Game of Thrones fan, and I remember this. All right, you ready? So
Yeah.
remember, Nick, explain the setting of Game of Thrones.
Okay. So Game of Thrones is basically kind of based off of medieval Europe kind of stuff. A slight fantasy. There's feudalistic, there's dragons, and apparently there's Starbucks.
Right there. And by real quick, I just want to say one thing, respond, but back to movie lovers' comment real quick. Just because it supposedly happens all the time doesn't mean that the movie gets to get away with it. That's the thing. Particularly when your movie is backed by like a big studio. I'm like, yeah. Tevia says, question, do you believe the MCU will reboot after Secret Wars? Yes, and if they do reboot, I think the new MCU is going to focus on the X-Men. That's what I think. What do you guys think? I'll start with Taladia since he's been quiet.
What do I think about?
About what will the new MCU look like in terms of what heroes do you think they focus? Will you think they'll do like X-Men or like Fantastic Four? Or do you think they'll do Avengers again?
Well, might focus on X-Men, or they might focus on Fantastic Four. I think because those are coming into the theaters now, right?
Mhm.
And they are doing Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal, so they will probably want to boost that up with that IP. As for X-Men, we don't know much about the X-Men yet, but I think Fantastic Four would be an idea.
All right,
ideal.
Jared, show it.
Yeah, I
Show
have
it.
to share this. So this is a shot from Book of Boba Fett. This is an aerial shot.
Oh, is it? I've seen
You
this
can
one.
see the scaffolding on the buildings. The
Oh, that's
funny part,
crazy.
by the way, this requires 0 reshoots. Just move the shot up a little bit. That's literally all you have to do.
The fact that no one noticed it from like filming to post, like there's like 15,000 different layers of like 15,000 different eyes that have to see this before it goes out.
Right there.
The fact that
This
no
is
one
why I
noticed
don't
it.
have faith in Disney. This is 100% why I don't have faith in Disney. That's why. But anyway, but yeah. Hey, JJheat, I'll ask you the same question. Oh, by the way, maybe Game of Thrones is actually set in a post-apocalyptic future. The Starbucks cup is pathetic. So, JHeat, what do you think the MCU is going to look like in the future, like after Secret Wars? Do you think they'll like try to highlight the Avengers again? And JHeat's gone. Nick, what do you think the post Secret Wars MCU is going to be?
Well, Avengers are always going to be the premier team, but I think now that they have access to X-Men and Fantastic Four, you open yourself up to a lot of storylines.
Mhm.
I think if they're smart, they're going to build up to an Avengers versus X-Men event. I think that would be smart. Like, you can literally build an entire saga for that event. Like the Phoenix Saga should be an Infinity Saga level thing. Like that, it is so complicated. And you could combine the Phoenix Saga, because I think one of the Avengers versus X-Men stuff does involve Phoenix. So you could use the Phoenix Saga and combine it with Avengers versus X-Men and actually create like 3 phases worth of content for that.
Yeah. Movie lovers says I have faith in Disney mainly because they keep releasing so many great movies. But here's the thing, movie lovers. Here's the difference. That's more of a subjective like thing about that. Objectively, their movies haven't been performing well. That's the thing, though. Oh, and furthermore, Kathleen Tenchi sabotaged that show to mess with Jon Favreau. I don't necessarily believe that, because I think like a lot of that stuff is like Filoni and Favreau's like big things. So,
well, it's very clear that the less that Favreau was involved, the worse the show got. Because like season 2, it's very clear there's a bit of a like season 1 is Jon Favreau, like full stop. Favreau Filoni contributed, but season 1 was very much Favreau. Like, you can tell. Season 2 is when Kathleen Kennedy got involved, and when Filoni started to, let's put all my waifus in there. Let's put all my totally original Aziz, please don't steal. And all that, like, let's set up this universe kind of thing. And that's like, and then season 3, Favreau's not even there at all. Like you notice how season 2, they kind of still talk about Favreau, but the time season 3, there's no mention of Favreau anywhere in season 3.
Yeah. But movie lovers, the reason why I say box office is because that's what these studios care about. They don't necessarily care about if people like the movie. If it sells well, they'll keep doing it. Look at the Fast and the Furious franchise, which have progressively gotten worse and worse and worse, yet still make $1 billion. Look at the Michael Bay Transformers movies.
Exactly.
That's my thing. But box office and quality aren't the same thing. But here's the thing, movie lovers.
Well, yes, but actually no.
Well, here's
they
the
don't
thing.
go hand in hand.
Yes. But here's the thing. I was just saying focus on the box office because quality. Because saying you have faith because you like the movies, that's more of a subjective thing. If nothing is selling, it becomes a sign that it's not quality keeping people from theaters. If nothing is selling well, it becomes a sign that's not quality.
Well, the problem is a lot of films in the 2020s, like, kind of had the COVID excuse. Like, Shang-Chi kind of falls under the COVID excuse.
Yeah.
Black Widow does. But the thing
Wonder
is, once
Woman,
you get to 2023 is kind of the first year where movies kind of stood on their own. 2023, you don't have the COVID excuse anymore.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, hero mode. I don't know how to tell you this. They've already gone to outer space. I don't know how to tell you this, brother.
Yeah.
They literally already did.
Oh, Jared, you know what? Like, we talked about this on one of my streams, but like, you know what? Also, it would benefit if Warner Brothers was bought by Universal. Justice League, X Fast and the Furious. You can have Dominic drag race the Batmobile.
Well, here's the thing, Dom. You can't fist fight Megatron with the power of family. I can. But yeah, so that's a good place to leave this topic, I think. Let's transition. So Taladia has a little something he wants to show us because he started collecting comics again.
That's
so
awesome.
Taladia kind of wants to show up. So
well, you guys get to decide.
Yeah.
If you want option A, option B.
All right. Let's see. Hey, what's
How
up,
can they-
Enosh? How you doing, dude? By the way, I gotta get you back in the channel, dude.
A
No,
or B, Jared?
Wait, real quick, I want to address this. No, the COVID excuse is forever. COVID changed. No, it didn't.
I
Because
disagree.
Guess what? Top Gun.
Mario made $1 billion. Barbenheimer, they each made $1 billion.
Top
the
Gun.
Taylor Swift era tours had theaters packed with teenage girls. Okay,
They have
James
come
Gunn's
back.
favorite.
Again, Top Gun.
Yeah.
Top Gun
And
Maverick,
No Way
not
Home.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Did it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there are movies that are getting the same amount of reception that was getting pre-COVID. The problem is, we had crap like, let's be honest, Shang-Chi probably would have been maybe a $600 to $700 million
like
movie
4 or 5
without
movies.
COVID.
You name like 4 or 5 movies. You're proving your point. No, I'm not.
I'm not-
You're saying that no one You're saying that audiences are less likely to go into the theaters. They were if the movies are good enough.
Yeah, and now that we got good movies that get good word of mouth, Dune 2.
Yeah.
The fact that you can
It's
name
cleaning up.
them that quickly proves a handful. We're naming the ones post-COVID that actually did well. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Wrong? That's objectively true. I don't know where you're getting your facts from.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
Black
understand.
Adam, like made $400 million. Like it did.
Other good movies are made. Again, movie lovers, you're talking about your subjective opinion. You can have
Okay.
you can like these movies.
Here's the
That's
thing, bro.
fine.
Quality. Here's the thing of quality versus box office. Okay, quality matters to us. Okay,
Mhm.
like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
if they release a movie where Gal Gadot just literally was on a toilet for 4 hours and it made $2 billion, we would have Gal Gadot Goes Potty 7 in 3 years.
Yeah, if it made $1 billion, they'll make another one. That's it. So
Yeah.
You are putting the private chat.
and yes, Talati, I do agree with you. But anyway, so let's go. And yes, they're re-releasing the Spider-Man movies. Yes, Smash Brothers.
Exactly.
Streaming has
Yeah.
changed the game.
Yeah.
More people are waiting for streaming. Looking at Indiana Jones 5. Indiana Jones 5. People waited for that because that movie didn't interest the movie theater audience that well and didn't have good
Well, the
press.
problem is the effect that streaming has had is really it's the death of mid-budget movies. Okay,
Yeah.
like for example, I say this all the time. Good Will Hunting. Okay, literally one of the greatest movies ever. That would have been a Netflix movie if it came out now. Okay, exactly. But the thing is,
Romance movies.
theaters,
Mhm.
movies like Dune is a movie you need to see in theaters. Okay, like a home theater setup only gets you so far. I got to see that in IMAX, big screen, great sound.
Wait. We're making excuses. So were you. So I don't know where you're coming from.
I'm clearly explaining my point. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Also, like, look at Oscar winners. You can look at all those movies that have won like a bunch of Oscars, and they don't always translate directly into revenue. Like, look at Poor Things. It won like 7 Oscars, and it didn't even make like $10 million.
Well, to be fair, there is kind of a subset categories of movies of the artsy Oscar bait movies.
exactly.
To where, like, these are movies that are done for a lower budget, where the actors actually oftentimes do it for less money so they can get the prestige of the Oscars.
Mhm.
But here's the other thing. Godzilla -1 won
Oh,
Best
yeah,
Visual
that's a
Effects.
great one.
The
Mhm.
fact that Godzilla beat Oppenheimer, I don't think Dune qualifies, but like beat Oppenheimer for Best Visual Effects. Like,
He's
come on.
not
And that
backing
movie,
your point up, movie lovers. I don't know where you're getting this from. So
Anyway,
Anyway.
also Hero made Me Too.
yes, I want that sequel because that movie was awesome. We will cover that on Comics League movie night. I swear we have to cover.
I mean, it's
Big
literally
Hero
a
6.
comic book movie, so.
It's
All right,
literally a
so-
Marvel movie.
so
Yeah. So let's go to what to
Also,
Taladia showing
Tevya,
up.
no. Before you do that, Tevya's coming.
Yes,
please.
yes. We do want that. So Taladia, show us what you got, dude.
I got 2
Show
comics.
us what you got.
All right.
First, two graphic novels so far. First one, please say hello to Superman Earth 1.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Oh, nice,
You
dude.
got a hardback one too.
And by
A hardcover.
hero mode, we would love to come on your podcast. Would love
Yeah,
to, dude.
send me a link.
Yeah, reach out to me on Twitter or DM or emails. All the information
Same.
should be below there, and I'll connect all of us. We'd love to hang out with you guys.
And the second
Yeah,
book
go ahead.
is Superman
Unchained, baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
hardcover, by the
love
way.
Unchained.
You got the
Jim Lee,
deluxe
Scott
edition.
Snyder. You kidding me?
Tevya, have you looked into Superman and the Legion of Superheroes?
What's up, Galen? Did you call him Tevya?
Yeah, he did.
Don't worry, Nick's old man brain is reacting again. Superman
I'm
the
picking up-
Legion. Mhm.
I'm picking up All Star Superman. That's coming up in the mail.
Yeah.
It should be here soon.
I'm sorry, both of you.
I can't believe you called me Tevya.
Yeah,
Like,
I
come
know,
on.
I know, I
You and
know.
Jared, both you and Jared did that.
Here's
today.
Nick
I'm
right
just like,
now. But
Jared- You got no excuse.
you got no excuse. And by the way, Galen, great to meet you. I'm Jared.
Yeah. As for
Go ahead.
like what I'm picking up is Earth 1. I've got
Yeah.
Unchained. I've got All Star Superman on the way. I'll be picking up Superman Forever, which is from 1997, which is done
Nice.
by Alex Ross, I believe.
Mhm.
And
Ooh.
also I might pick up Justice, but I'm definitely picking up Kingdom Come next.
Yes.
What
you want
about
that.
I
that's a
also
good one.
recommend Superman American Alien and then Red Sun.
Well, I was thinking about getting Superman Shuka Origin trade paperback and Superman
Yeah.
Brainiac as a
Yeah,
combined.
those are
Brainiac's a
good.
one.
Those are good.
I do
Nick
recommend
has-
Superman and Legion of Superheroes.
Well, yeah, you say that every single time someone.
We need to
mentions
cover that in
Superman.
Comic Spots. We need to.
We might, yeah, exactly. And but yes, and yes, I agree with Nick. American Alien is solid, particularly when you get to see Superman pre-Superman like throw Deathstroke off a cruise ship because Deathstroke thinks he's Bruce Wayne. It's so.
It was
funny.
actually written by Max Landis, same guy who wrote Chronicle, a movie we need to cover on movie night.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
happening. And by the way, he's the one that has this fantastic summary of Death and
So-
Return of Superman. Have you guys heard this?
Oh, I watched it when it came out. He also has a
It's
really
so
good
good.
wrestling one, by the way, too.
But yeah, so those are my comics anyway. I have got some really good ideas on what I want to do. Jared is the idea that basically, after seeing his comic pulls and
I
whatnot
am the
for the last
comics
few months,
lord.
after seeing what you pulled, after seeing what you pulled last month and whatnot, it got me inspired to pick up comics and whatnot. So it was just like whether or not to go for hardcover or trade paperbacks. I know trade paperbacks were getting, but I went for hardcovers because I know they last longer.
Oh yeah.
And
Mhm.
Plus, it's more
Right.
prestige to hold the hardcover. It's more prestige. I recommend
Yeah.
John Byrne's Man
Speaking
of Steel.
of
and Superman.
hardcovers,
The problem
no,
with
Tev,
the problem. No, the PKJ Action Comics run is legit, but the problem with John Byrne's Man of Steel, Dave, is that he went the whole Kryptonians are emotionless robots and shouldn't be
Yep.
emulated. So I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, particularly if you like Man of Steel the movie, because yeah, it does take hints from that, but the Krypton stuff, I'm like, no. What were you gonna say, Nick?
never mind. I forgot what I was saying.
All right, but but yes, this in other words, like Superman Warworld and Taladia, they also have like smaller trades that basically collect Warworlds. I think it's like 3 trades.
Mhm.
yeah, but they're
David, is
expensive.
it 3
But they're really
No.
expensive.
The main book is expensive, but they also have that in 3 trades because that
Yeah.
essentially what I have
It's a
there is basically
compendium.
an omnibus.
Yeah, but what I went for, I wanted to get like either get trade paperbacks,
Yeah.
and get it in one thing because I don't want to keep it getting like 2
Good point.
books or 3 books, like because I'd rather get it all in one shot so I
Yeah.
can cover it. I can read
Go ahead,
it.
Nick.
So speaking of trade paperbacks and hardcovers,
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here soon enough, you'll be able to get a trade paperback of Turn Samurai. I'm
Oh,
collecting the
wow.
first 2 issues into a trade. I'm working with RJ from Critical Blast, and that will actually be able to, if what he says is true, which I believe him, it'll be an Ingram Spark, which means like Barnes and Noble and like
Oh,
all
wow.
those places will be able to carry it. So once that is done, I'm going to be begging all of you to hit up your local Barnes and Noble and demand the book.
And now, before we transition to our next topic, I have something to show off. So my artist Dawson, he basically upgraded his art style, and he wanted to redo the cover for Athena issue 1. And yes, I decided to go with the single issue format instead of the graphic novels for right now, because when the last issue of volume 1 comes out, which is like 4 issues, I'll do a trade. But for right now, I'm sticking with the single issues. But like, here's the new and improved cover.
Oh, yo.
That's
That
hot.
looks really good.
Yeah. So what's kind of interesting is that the original cover, Xerxes here was all like shrouded because at the time we didn't know what he was going to look like. We hadn't like character designed him yet. So we were like, let's have him be like this shadow. But now that we have him there,
brother, I
Yeah.
never really said it, but like, I was never really a fan of that art. This is so much better.
yeah, exactly. He was like, you know what? I'll upgrade and redo it, because now that we have like the character design, because I think it's cool to like have him, and like half of his body is shadow, and it's actually really cool how like the bottom part of his body is showing like space, because it's kind of a space.
Yeah.
And then for the font, we went with like a Greek theme, because all of my superheroes, their code names are based off of characters from Greek myth, like Atlas, Achilles, Hermes, Hephaestus, and all that. It kind of keeping my two loves, which is DC and Greek myth. So I'm kind of combining those two. So it's going to be 4 issues of trade 1. I have plans for about, let's see, if I stick to the 4-issue format, I have plans for 12 issues.
Nice.
So that'll be cool. And then again, after I get the entire series out, there'll be an omnibus. Randy says, "Hey Jared, I really liked episodes of Legacy with." Yeah, we're recording part 2 tomorrow, where we talk about volume 2, the Doom. Buy one copy, but pretend to be different people. Request your Barnes & Noble, order it multiple times, and then cancel the order. Barnes & Noble will put multiple copies on their shelves. That's a way to game the system. Anyway, let's transition to our next topic. So we did the comic book show, we did Superman, Wolverine. Okay, so we have 2 topics left: AI art for Batman, or the creator of X-Men 97 being fired.
I think AI art.
All right. So I got to be honest with you. At first, I didn't really notice this until someone pointed it out. I'm going to pull up the article that was talking about this. It was a Twitter thread where someone was going, okay, so I'm reading through the current run of Batman. It's the Batman run. It's not Detective.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the Joker Year 1 storyline. And something didn't add up, to the point where he basically goes, you could make the argument that a lot of that, a lot of the art in that issue is AI generated, because it makes a lot of the mistakes that like a human won't make. And I'll show like an example here.
Always check the fingers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's one.
Seriously.
That's one. And then it's like Joker's nipples move. Apparently. Batman's car arc is running through on me. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Joker Year 1 storyline.
So you're saying they adapted Batman Forever?
Yeah. So yeah. So here's the thread, and I figured we'll go through it together and like talk about it. So what James says, now that I've read all the issues, I'm gonna do this. Now that I've read all the issues of Batman that Andrew Sorrentino contributed to, I feel like there's a pretty strong case that AI art is being used. I'd love to be wrong, especially as the run has been so great, but it's hard to avoid. I'll explain the thread. So first he says, first off, there are the usual telltale signs. Strange anatomy, errors a human is unlikely to make. The weird hands, like here and here, and the Joker being insanely ripped in one panel and wasted in another, and his wandering nipples. Because you see, here's a nipple here. And watch
Here's
it.
a nipple here. Here's a nipple
But
there.
watch.
Everywhere there is a nipple.
But watch.
Turn it all about.
But watch, it's right here. And then
Yeah.
here, it's over here.
Mhm.
That's not an issue. And
I think this is a pretty clear-cut case, honestly, because like I said, there's mistakes that not even Greg Land would make.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like
Um,
their mistakes were like even Greg Ladd, who cannot draw worth a dang, and he's a tracer. Even he would be like, okay, I need to just fix this a little bit,
Yeah. James goes on. Secondly, there's the style which Sorrentino doesn't appear to have used before outside of a couple of Instagram posts. His other work is very distinctive, heavily photo reference, high contrast lighting. This is quite a departure from that. Not enough on its own, but telling. Like here's his actual stuff here.
See, the problem is, this is clearly AI art. Okay,
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. But the problem is, since he's doing AI art and he's trying to like sneak it past us, this literally calls into question every other piece of art he's done. Okay, so now we don't know what is AI art, what isn't. But also, here's the other thing: this is bound to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I think DC did this? No. I think
Tevye,
this is.
it's important because it's a matter of artistic integrity.
Yeah.
Also, no,
like
there's a lot of reasons.
Like
why
if
this is
DC,
important.
like if DC put out a book that was, and then they said it was AI art, they'd get heat. But at least, but the thing is, at least like they wouldn't be deceiving people. That's the problem here. Okay, your opinion on AI art is your opinion. Okay, but the problem here is he's trying to pretend it's his own art. That is like your opinion on AI art is a subjective opinion. Okay, some people like it, some people don't. Okay, but the problem is he's lying. He's pretending it isn't, and that is an objective failure. Okay,
Hero mode
whatever
says
your opinion on AI art is, the fact that he's lying about it is 100% objective an issue.
And then hero mode says that's too bad. It's a convenience, but nothing beats hand drawn to me. More love into it. I can understand AI as far as time constraints, but this feels a little like Tom King's 100-issue Batman run too long. Yeah, true. That's a good point. And exactly. It's a matter of artistic integrity because he's passing off. Essentially, here's the thing. Do you know how AI art works? It aggregates other people's artwork. So really, you're taking from someone. It's like tracing in a way.
Yeah. I think that the biggest problems with there's like
Greg
a lot
Land must love AI art.
Particularly certain AI art.
But one of the
He just
I
feeds
think
it a
biggest,
bunch of old playboys.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, this storyline feels like it is a waste of time too because it's literally stopping a good story in the middle to tell this Joker year one, and I'm like, why do I need this? I mean, some comics at the Big Joe are probably using AI writing programs too, and you know what? That's
honestly,
a problem. Oh,
I mean, honestly, a lot of I guarantee you, like a lot of the Netflix garbage is probably written by AI. But here's the other thing. This kind of stuff is going to get more and more prevalent. I would not be surprised if Disney specifically creates an AI bot and trains it on Jack Kirby art, and then so that way it can literally produce Jack Kirby art books or whatever. Like we're gonna, I really feel like we're gonna see that at some point because you hear what happened with like the last Beatles song. Like they basically kind of like created an official Beatles song using AI voices.
Yeah, Dave also brings up a good point. Some comics writers at the Big Joe are probably using AI program writers too. It's harder to trust their integrity.
Yeah,
Tevye, just because you don't like the story does not mean it's AI. That's don't use this as a way to like get someone fired.
Yeah, that's a bit of a cop out, honestly.
That's a big cop out. Oh, it must be AI because I don't like the storyline. No, that's not the way that works. But so that's about what I want to talk about. But the other thing about it, the last thing I'll say about this is that it makes sense that if they would that DC would try this because most of their top tier talent is going to Ghost Machine. So it's not like they have so many people left. So I don't know. It's a little weird. But anyway, previously on X-Men. The creator of X-Men 97 was fired. And this is the guy that was out front saying, I only let people come in that are fans of the property.
Wow.
not looking good for that show, particularly when it gets fired, where he gets fired like 2 weeks before the show premieres.
That's
Doesn't
terrible.
look good.
Yeah.
And you know the reason behind it
What?
is not for safe for work related stuff.
I
that was
highly doubt that.
that there actually another report came out and said that wasn't the case.
Reportedly, he was tough to work with, but here's the thing, Taladia. He had that OnlyFans for like a long time, so it's not like
and he wasn't
just
like
started
trying to
up.
hide it either. It's not like he hid it. He's been very public with it for years. Disney knew it was a thing when they hired him.
Yeah, and Tavia, here's why I think it could be because, I mean, I don't know why in reality they fired him. I think what the reason why that storyline about the OnlyFans thing pushed is because, again, like I said before, they have a morality clause where, like, if you do these, because again, he's running a show and he highlights himself on his Twitter page as running a show that's like for kids.
Yeah, but the problem is
kids.
It existed, from what I understand, it existed long before he got hired. And Disney does their due diligence. I don't. There is no situation where they didn't know about this when they hired him, so I don't think the morality clause got triggered. See, the only thing is, they barred him right as the promotion was about to begin, so they didn't want him promoting the show like that. That's kind of that's. I'm not saying that like that leads to anything, but that's kind of like a interesting. Put a pin in that kind of idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Do you really believe that Disney would fire? Yeah, exactly. And then 2 seasons were in the bag. I think the 3rd season is in the middle of being written. Yeah, so we have 2 seasons of X-Men that he worked on. So if the show is good at all, it'll be because of those 2 seasons. 3rd season.
Well, it should be really good.
A show that
I don't know.
basically highlights bigotry as the topic. Yeah, exactly. It's odd the way they handle that, but I don't know. Let me ask you this. I'll start with David. So, what do you think of the creator being fired 2 weeks before the show premieres?
He must have said something to someone that for it to be like quiet and him not to have said it like online in some way, or he made somebody really mad. Like, I can't really imagine them firing him because he was like a bad writer. Maybe they watched it and they didn't like it. Maybe it didn't go over ideas they wanted in the show.
Like, they are perfectly okay with him trashing the Witcher writers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, remember when he said that? When he said that, you know, and no, did he even bat an eye? I don't know.
He had to have said something to someone, I think.
I don't think it was the OnlyFans because he's had this the entire time. And I there's no, like, the only thing I think of is, like, they said, like, okay, you can have the OnlyFans, but don't promote it in X source. I don't know. Maybe he slept with Bob Iger's wife or something. I don't know.
Well, he's gay, so that's
I'm speculating.
Oh, wow.
Maybe he slept with Bob Iger. Who knows?
But so Nick, let me ask you this, because you've been a very like vocal critic of the show in terms of like animation stuff, but this does not bode any more confidence for you, does it?
I mean, no, it just adds fuel to my fire, my Phoenix fire. By the way, I'm making that a thing now, Phoenix fire.
That's actually not a bad idea. What about you, Taladia? What do you think
about
the creator of X-Men being fired?
Oh, well, the creator of X-Men 97 being fired, I think it was the right move for on Disney's part. It's the right move for them because they don't want to see the brand tarnished, right, or the IP tarnished. So
the thing is, we don't even know if that was the case, so that's a problem.
Yeah,
even though we don't know the case, but in terms of if you were on Disney's, like, if think like a business standpoint, they would probably don't want to see that on their resume. Like, you know, we've got somebody that.
I'm sorry, I got to get pushed back because it was on his resume when they hired him. You know, that's the thing. So, like, it could be because of the OnlyFans. I'm not saying it isn't, but what I'm saying is, it could be a lot of different things. But I just don't agree with like running with the Oh, it's the OnlyFans. That's it. Case all,
But
whatever.
that could not only be the issue; it could be something else as well. So
I fully agree with you on that.
It's probably something else. Knowing Disney, they fired him for liking a tweet by Gina Carano over the Friday Night Tights series. Yeah, exactly. I would not be surprised.
Also, yeah, same.
Yeah, question. Didn't James Disney pull it? Well, here's the thing. Those were for public tweets that James Gunn made, and it's Disney let it be known that that's why they were firing Gunn at the time.
Also,
thing.
Also, it's important to note, those tweets existed for years. It wasn't that these tweets existed; it's that they had been brought to light, and there was kind of like basically people put pressure on Disney, to be like, "Hey, look at these tweets. Are you sure?" The typical cancellation stuff. And that's what happened, because these tweets had existed for 5 years up until the point. And Disney, when they hire people, they do these kind of deep dives.
They do.
I'm not saying like there could be a situation where they miss the tweets, but like there's a good chance they knew about them.
Yeah, exactly. Randy says, "I'm sorry, but Disney has been damaging their brands for quite a while now."
Ain't that the truth?
100%.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a good place to leave the show, as a matter of fact, for today, because we covered all the topics. This was a fantastic show, and I'm glad I got to debut my new intro for the show. And actually, you know what? I'll play it again when we're done. But Taladia, where can we find you, and what have you got coming out on the channel?
So you guys can follow me on Twitter at @TaladiaPlays_ and on YouTube at @TaladiaPlays. And I will be having a video coming up I'll be posting it this weekend in regards to WB Games Montreal and a new job posting in regards to creative director. So I'll be making a video about that, what the possibilities of what game could it be. So I'll be making a video on that. And also, I will be taking a month off, so obviously because of Ramadan, so I won't be doing any live streaming. So I want to put that out there.
How about you, Nick?
Alrighty then, let me just kind of turn everything on. And okay, you can find me on Twitter. Search the Phoenix Press. YouTube, search the same. I'm actually closing in on 500 subs. I am currently at. Let me just kind of. Give a quick check there. I'm getting real close, guys. I'm getting real close.
Speaking of,
I am at 480. So
nice.
I'm probably going to be starting that push here shortly. I'm closing in on 500 subs, and when that happens, Jared, tell them what we are going to do for the 500 sub stream.
What did we decide we were gonna do again?
Superman is he's got to read a comic. Remember?
Oh, were you gonna read the sequel to Sins Past?
One more day. You remember for the 400 sub, I read Sins Past. So now I'm gonna read. Fun. So if you want to see me read, one more day, subscribe to me on YouTube, the Phoenix Press. And I will read one more day, so that's probably going to happen. So tomorrow, I'll be doing Pokemon, which might be the last one, and then we're going to do Spider-Man. Rewatch is returning on Monday, so we'll be doing Teen Titans Episode 2 with Jared. On Wednesday, I got Ginger Cast 2, The Search for War Gingers, the sequel to my hit stream. It's coming out. And then on Friday, we're doing the Friday Night Frenzy again. So I'm kind of easing back into the recorded content. Everything's all great. And then... yeah, I got some 2100 Samurai goodness coming out here shortly.
As for me, so I just released Under Two Capes episode 211, where Nick and I discussed what Zack Snyder did well with DC and what he didn't do so well with DC. So we were fair on both sides. We had a nice debate there. For Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I are going to be analyzing Volume 2 of Superman Wonder Woman. And then in terms of problem with... I'm thinking about what I want to do for my Wednesday video. In terms of movie night, we will be talking about Kingsman 1. Trust
me, I plan on having clips to you either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. And then in terms of my own sub push, I'm at 946. So we are this close to 1K.
And for the record, I just want to say, I have a surprise planned for Jared. Claudia knows what it is. And because he's so close, I'm actually going to have to order it on the 1st of March because he's like, Jared's actually getting really close.
The 1st of March? It's the 15th of March.
1st of April.
Nick, your old man brain is going crazy lately.
I want to flick you off so badly.
You could do it under the camera. How's that? You could do it under the camera. Yeah, but I'm sorry, dude.
No.
It's not my fault your old brain is.
But no, I'm going to order it April 1st. And it takes about 7 days. And because you're probably going to get 1,000 subs by the end of next month, I think. Middle to end of next month.
Next month is where Lad basically estimated it, somewhere in like May or June, but within the next month or two.
So I will, and Taladia, you know what it is. Do you think Jared would like it?
Oh, yeah, Jared. You don't need to worry. You got nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I told Taladia what it is. So, Jared, you can rest assured, it's not cringy. It's not bad. This is actually good.
I never know because you guys could be conspiring to make a prank on me, but I don't know,
dude,
whatever.
come on. You really think Taladia would
back.
be in on that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So JJheat's back, so I'll let him back in. So JJheat, we're just wrapping up. Where can we find you, and what have you got coming on your channel?
You can find me at JJheat Blaze on YouTube or JJheat75 or Twitter or X. Stay tuned for my Mass Effect playthrough as well as my recent collab with Pika Shades on the channel. And just thank you guys for letting me join and for coming out.
Anytime. So stay heroic, everyone. I'm not going to say the Lois Lane thing yet because my intro ends with it. So I'm going to play the new intro one more time for those of you that didn't get to see it. Behold,
Silverton, on me.
Lois Lane is Lois Lane.